Welcome everybody to another shocking reality check prison reality check. Almost coffee went down the wrong pipe right there a little bit. Prison reality check episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this story is absolutely wild, coming from Ohio. Welcome once again, live stream event. And I got another true prison story coming your way after this one. It's a true story, and it's going to blow your mind. It's a perfect example of helping another person in prison, and how easily it can go wrong and you can lose your life, right? That's why I tell people, man, you see someone get jumped or someone laying there on the ground, man, just most of the time people are just gonna walk over them and not even look at nothing, in prison. Daddy, chill. Come on, SD, don't get it going already like that this morning, man. I'm a little shaky, man. It's brisky outside. Third Eye, what's up? Best bullies. Why'd I have to say what's up to that guy first? Best bullies Scotland, Harry Grace, just in case TTV, Miguel. I gotta be careful with these names. Bruh Cloud TV, ASPR. What's up, everybody? Jamin, Rusty, Carter, Laurie, the Nasty Natty. All right, so let's get into it. And this is live, so my little slideshow or whatever that I got coming your way showing pictures, I might mess up. I don't know. Hopefully I don't. I got them labeled correctly. Also, I do have another story coming from a prison that I was in recently. Some stuff's been jumping off over there too, so if we have enough time, we might tap into that one as well. But let me pull up the article and we'll get started. First off, the correctional officer that lost his life his name is Andrew Lansing. Where's the photo here? Andrew Lansing, correctional officer at Ohio Ross Correctional Facility in Ohio. All right, that's who we're dealing with. This is a picture of the prison. We've covered many stories coming from we reacted to a show, I believe it was like Locked Up Raw or something, an old one, coming from this prison. It's wide open, man. It can get active real quick, So I'm not surprised to hear something like this happening from over there. I believe Ross is where those COs, I don't know if they still do, but they were like walking around in like militant black SWAT gear. You know what I mean? They had like those military drill instructor hats. And if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. That might have been Georgia. Yeah, but I've heard some crazy stories coming from Ross, man. Not to mention a lot of weaponries over there, shanks and stuff, contraband. When you got a lot of that, that pretty much shows that the prison's active. But anyways, let's get into the story. It says the Ohio State Highway Patrol is investigating the fatal attack on Lansing, 62, as he worked an early morning shift at Ross Correctional Institute in Chillicothe. Hopefully I pronounced that one right. I remember having an issue with this in the past. But Mike Lansing said which is the brother of the correctional officer that passed away. Mike Lansing said his brother continued to work the increasingly dangerous job at the prison so that he could provide for his family. He had been taken out of there twice because of I don't like to mention these particular inebriants names, but an inebriant exposure. All right, they had to do. And this was twice. They had to hit him with Narcan because of it, man. Exposure to this stuff, man. That's scary, you know. I've been hearing a lot more stories about that. People just touching something or just being around it, you know, and passing away from it, you know. So I try to tell my kids that, you know, you gotta be careful because you never know if something might have rubbed up on that money, you know. You just can't be sure these days. His brother kept telling him that he needed to get out, but like I said, he had so much time invested. It's hard to walk away from something like that and start over at your age. Mike Lansing said that his brother was known as a fair and firm inside the prison type of correctional officer. To his friends and family, he was a great guy who'd do anything for anybody. Mike Lansing said family members were able to say their goodbyes to Andrew at the Adena Medical Center in Chillicothe before he was transferred to Wexner Medical Center at Ohio State University. He said his brother died en route to OSU. Andrew, now this is key here, all right? Let's break this down. They haven't said who the inmate was, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a picture of him. To the left is Lansing, the correctional officer that passed away. To the right is the inmate that they're saying did it. All right. It says Andrew had been badly beaten in the face and head and showed no defensive wounds. Mike Lansing said, as his brother, he added that he doesn't know what happened to his brother's man down button, which triggers an alarm when an employee needs emergency help. Well, I can almost guarantee this is probably exactly how it went down. And not to be disrespectful, this is just how, coming from an ex-con, if I were to read that about my family member, I'm going to tell you exactly how it is, man. All right, so he's gotten beat all over his face. He passed away, right? But he has marks all over his face. That's all we're getting from this. And no defensive wounds, okay? I'm guessing, like, he did that. Usually when you pass away, you know, the wounds and bruises, they start to show up. You know, the stuff that you wouldn't see if you were alive. So you start seeing more bruising than you've ever seen. Maybe bruising from weeks ago starts showing up. You know, I'm not autopsy specialist, but that's what happens. So when he passed away, he probably had no bruising on his arms or anywhere else except for his face. And that, to me, would say he probably either got sucker punched or just straight up punched. They squared up, dude punched him. He got knocked out, fell to the ground, and one of the worst things you could possibly witness in prison, or at least I did, is someone getting beat nonstop when they're already passed out. It's unreal. But right, I mean, if you have no defensive wounds, that would make sense. Dude kept on beating him after he was knocked out. Or maybe he just punched him a couple times, quick three-piece, fell to the ground, hit his head. You know, that's all it takes is get knocked out and hitting your head on that prison concrete or anything, and it could be game over. That's why I say it's so dangerous, these prison fights. But if I were to guess, that's how it went down. He got knocked out. Dude continued to punch him. He probably did have his emergency button on him, but what can you do if you get snuck or, you know? Typically, if someone starts squaring up on you, and if it was right in front of you, the guy probably would have pressed his emergency button right then, unless he didn't have it on him, you know, but I doubt that's the case. This dude was militant, if I remember correctly. Let me see what some of the comments are saying. Ross Correctional Facility, bro, it's on the screen. Foot prison. Come on, man. Open your eyes. But yeah, you know, that's what I think happened with this individual. The crazy part about it is it happened on Christmas morning. What could trigger anybody to do something like that on Christmas morning? I understand there's emotions flying. You know, lifers, they're probably crying in their cell a little bit, man, missing life out there at Christmas, knowing they're never going to see it again. But that's not the case with this individual. I believe his release date was 2030. Not too far off, right? And he was in there for felonious assault. Yeah, violent offender. I believe most people that go to Ross Correctional is violent offenders or troublemakers, getting caught with cell phones, drugs, stuff like that. It'll boost your level. I think it's like a 3-4 or something. Medium to high. Either way, like I said, it's active, you know, and so it makes sense that he was in that prison. And a prison like that, for sure, you always got to have your emergency button. That's why I don't think he didn't have it, you know. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. All 800 of y'all. Laurie, you read my mind, man. You read my mind. Appreciate it. Terry in Ohio, stay safe. Get crazy out there in them streets too. But let me continue with this article. This is key as well. It says, the inmate accused of fatally attacking prison guard Andrew Lansing on Christmas Day was issued a misconduct report in April for making threats, according to Lansing's brother and the prison guard union. All right? In April, he issued a charge to Rashawn L. Cannon, 27. That's the guy in the photo, or I believe. It says Lansing wrote the misconduct report against him for threatening to kill someone, though it isn't immediately clear if Lansing or someone else was the target of those verbal threats, according to the Ohio Civil Service Employees Association. Now, luckily for y'all, the host, me, I was written up for threatening to kill a CO as well, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You know where they put me? They put me in a side pocket that I'll never forget. It was torture. Not because of what you might think, but because they put me in a cell where I could see the outside rec yard. It was like right in front of me. Dudes puffing cigs, drinking coffee, enjoying their prison time the best they can. And I gotta sit there watching them. This is when tobacco was allowed in prison. So I was I had nothing back there. I was kicking it, you know, and I'm watching it. It was horrible, torture. But when I first went into the side pocket there, I was really scared. This was my first time in prison. They put me in a freaking closet the size, it was like 2x4, not even 4, it was like 2x3. It was like a broom closet with a seat and peripheral holes. I said, is this the hall? The prison hall? And I was like, they gonna keep me in here for days? I wasn't crying or nothing. I was keeping my composure. You know, but I thought they were gonna, not to mention, they said I threatened to kill a CO, right? So I didn't. First off, I just said I was gonna screw up their count. I said, man, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna F up your count the next time because I overslept the count. And these idiots around me thought it'd be funny to let me sleep in. You know, we do that sometimes. And when they start counting and stuff, we'll go like 17, 29, 5, 5, 8 and mess up their count. I don't know. We were hooligans, man, in Virginia prison system. But anyways, them idiots let me sleep in and they slapped the COs slammed their thing on my clipboard on my bed. Terrified me. Absolute terror, right? So I just told them I was going to F up their count. Well, they hemmed me up like hog-tied mine, carried me right side pocket. Said I was going to F them up. I was in that hole, man, waiting to be transferred. I was trying to go back to population so bad. I apologized to them for threatening them, and I didn't even threaten them. They got me. I'm apologizing for nothing. Anyways, look. It ain't no game, man. You get threatened to CO, man. Your level's going to increase. They're going to ship you off the compound. All kinds of stuff's going to happen. Maybe if you had parole, you're looking forward to it, you could kiss that goodbye. So if dude was writing him up for that, And maybe he did threaten Lansing's life in particular. I don't know, but how did he get his hands on him after a write-up like that? Maybe he went to the hole and came back out. I don't know the situation. They didn't give us too much details, but if I were to guess, it's definitely connected to that write-up. And he had some kind of personal issue, vendetta with that CO, to the point where he was ready to kill him. And he did. You know? And I'm here to tell you, unless the inmate is psychotic, you know, and you can tell by their jacket, their institutional jacket, if that, like, is it. They're getting into stuff with everyone, right? And doing crazy stuff here and there. But if not, if they don't have no jacket like that, and an event like this takes place, then you got to ask you got to say to yourself, something dramatic happened to that inmate. Either he heard a message on the streets that really just flipped him over the edge and he wanted to take it out on someone. Why not the CO that rid him up? Or a personal situation between him and the CO altogether, you know? Who knows? It could even be a planned hit. I don't know. You know, but these are some of the number one options that I'm going to be running with. The inmates run the prisons, not the COs or the warden. I beg to differ, bro. Look, you hear a lot of news about these prisons that are wide open. But I'm here to tell you, the places I've seen, besides a rare couple, like Greensville, wide open. You know, I'm sure it's always, but that's like a medium high. When you get into the prisons where people are doing life, that's where it starts opening up a little more, because that's their life, that's their home. And guess what you want while you're living life at your home for the rest of your life? What do you need? What do you want? Something to help you enjoy it, right? Inebriants. That's when everything really starts flowing, because they're living there. They need it. It's life, you know? But I don't even know where I was going with this. Damn. How did I forget where I was going, man? What are y'all talking about, man? I feel like a bunch of people are just promoting. Appreciate you, Eric. I'm trying to remember where I was going with this, man. With what I was saying. This after the CO in Texas died too. Yeah, and not too long ago, I believe one passed away in Georgia. Shoot, remember that one individual that was, the inmate strangled him, and I think it was like the parking garage area of the jail or something. It's crazy, man. You know, correctional officers, you got to keep your eyes and ears open, man, peeled all the way around you. See, inmates too, you know, it's how the game goes, especially, shoot, even on the streets. You know, I feel as though everybody, if you see a little bit of what you should, you know, probably have never seen before, you would act totally different in life, you know, and be prepared a lot more. Inebriants. Yeah, I like that word too. Makes me feel good. Hey, let's tap that like button, y'all. And I still got a crazy true prison story coming your way about right now in a second, about a inmate that lost his life trying to help another individual. Let's talk about Lansing for a second. The correctional officer that passed away. It says Andrew Lansing started his career with a brief stint at Marion Correctional Institute from December 1985 to January 1986. He was later hired at Ross Correctional Institute January 1994 and worked there for more than 13 years until February 2007. He left the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation Correctional and joined MPRI, International Services Ltd., a private military contractor. I haven't heard of that group. During the nearly 5 years he worked there, Lansing assisted the Iraq government in developing a safe and secure correctional facilities for humane care, custody, and treatment of persons incarcerated in the Iraqi correction system to enhance public safety, according to Lansing's LinkedIn page. Unreal. He was in the mix even over there in Iraq, right? He comes back. Lansing returns to Ross Correctional Institute in March 2013. So that means he was over there for what? I'm guessing a few years. I think they already said, I don't know. Lansing was also a military veteran serving from October 1981 to April 1992 with the U.S. Army. Crazy, huh? He comes back to the States and gets killed by an inmate. And so far, like I said, it seems like it was just with fists or something along those lines. I didn't hear nothing about no stab wounds or anything like that. It's crazy, man. You never know what life has in store for you. You never know. This ain't decaf, man. It's got me shaking a little bit, man. This is that Maxwell today. 1200 deep. Can I get a like, y'all? For Christmas. Christmas present. Like button. A host asking you that. Come on. Can't deny that. It's Christmas time. It was Christmas. It's still Christmassy time. Hey, funny story, though, before I get into another true story. But it was Christmas morning and everything was done. It was like 1, it wasn't morning, it was like 1 p.m. and I was smoking a cig outside. I was like, man, I'm just gonna start taking down the decorations. I started taking down the decorations, man, and it's Christmas Day. The neighbors come out looking at me like, bah, humbug ass neighbor, taking out his stuff already. I ain't got time for games. This stuff's been up since October. Brittany wants to crack it out a month and a half early. I'm done. I'm done with it. Right? Christmas, I'm burnt. Spent. Anyways, let's go ahead and my condolences to the family, loved ones, man. They're gonna have to deal with this, and chances are that inmate, 2030, his definitely not coming his way. He's gonna be spending the rest of his life, if I were to guess, inside that prison. I don't know if Ohio has death penalty. I don't think they do, but actually I think I've done a special from death row over there. I can't remember. Now let me tell you about this other story, all right? I'm gonna speak about it, and I want you to tell me what state you think it came from. We'll have a little adventure to go with it. And I was gonna do a video strictly on these stories, but I decided just to go live and speak with y'all. You and your rock, keep up the hard work. Taz, appreciate you, man. 5 clip, appreciate it. They have death row? They do have death penalty? Okay, yeah. He's definitely going to get that. If I were to guess, he's going to get the chamber for sure. Can't, and them COs, man. In Ohio, man, they're built different. Someone's already guessing it's somewhere in the South. I don't know, we'll find out. Anyways. Let me get to the meat and potatoes of this story. It says, according to an arrest warrant affidavit, prison staff discovered inmates drinking alcohol and closed the doors to the recreation room, which inmate Little, that's the inmate's name in this story, Little said made another inmate named Porter mad. He wanted to start causing a scene as a way of retaliation of the correctional officers at the facility, Little said. A brawl ensued. So this is what happened. So they're drinking. These inmates are drinking. COs see it. They lock down the rec room. They're pissed. They say, you know what? We're going to go beat someone's ass, man. You know, we're going to go stomp them out and just stir up the nest, not lock in. A brawl ensued when Hill, another inmate, went to aid one of his friends who was being beaten by Porter. Lee and Sanders, the trio, began punching and kicking Hill in the face, the affidavit states. These men really went out their way for no reason other than taking away their hooch to beat up another man very, very badly. That's what Little said. Mr. Hill saw his friend being beaten very badly in a 3-on-1 and ran over to try and save him. He then was beaten very badly by these men and killed. Can you believe that? Lee hit Hill 10 times with 2 kicks to the head. Porter hit Hill 2 times with 2 kicks to the head. And Sanders hit Hill 6 times with 4 kicks to the head. Little said Sanders delivered the final blow. That came from... This just happened. This was an updated article from August 21st, 2024 from Colorado State Penitentiary. That's what happens when you try to help someone. Even I knew. Look, I was in a situation in a cell block where it flipped. A gang leader, shot caller, I guess you could say, came into the cell block and he transformed all his little soldiers into militant little bullies. And I remember one day, one of our friends that was a part of that gang went down to the cell that we hung out in. Me and my other buddy, his name was Bird. Me and him weren't part of no gang, but the guy that was a part of gang was our friend, and we hung out with him all the time. And I've told this story in the past, but this is a little refresher for anybody that might be new. I saw a dude go to the cell where Bird's at, so I didn't think nothing of it. And all of a sudden, I hear the sounds of someone getting beat, and I kind of knew what time it was, man. I can't really exactly remember how I witnessed it, but I remember going down to it. I wanted to help him, wanted to help Bird, but I was stopped and pretty much warned, you know. And then once I found out everything, and it just blew my mind because dude sent the guy to go beat up his friend for no reason, man. They didn't steal nothing. They didn't do nothing but beat him. He didn't do nothing but beat him up. And then I remember he came back and said, "Look, bro, I'm sorry. I had to do what I had to do." And Bird's face all mangled. After that OG asked me to do a big tattoo piece on his back. What am I going to say? No. I'm about to go home. I'll do it. Paid me good, you know, but I ain't gonna lie, that was one of the worrisome tattoos I've ever done. That tattoo was straight super gang related. It was treacherous, man. I didn't want to mess that one up. Merry Christmas, Inflower. Appreciate the 2-piece. But yeah, you can't be helping people, and if you do, I mean, you can, but if you do in prison especially, you're liable to get killed, like the individual we just spoke about from the Colorado State Prison. Just because their hooch got taken, they locked down the dang rec yard. You know, they wanted to take it out on another inmate. Crazy. But Happy Halloween, says 11. Hello. It's not Halloween, man. Well, I don't know, Alton. I don't think you would feel disrespected for getting written up. I think I think maybe he had a bad look. I've seen inmates have bad days, and they didn't have life, but they acted like they beat the guy like they had life, you know, just because sometimes when you got 13 years to do or 7 years to do, that's life to many people. And they don't think about the long term. They just think about, you know, I'm not gonna make it. I'm just gonna, you know, they snap. Some of them just snap and don't even mean to kill him. You know, like I said, it could have just been a sucker punch and he hit the ground and his head hit the wrong way, man. Not enough details is out right now. But for those of y'all that don't know, this is the CO that passed away, Correctional Officer Lansing. He had a military background. He trained individuals in Iraq for prisons in Iraq, helped get them going. And this is the inmate that took his life. The report says that he was beaten. He had bruising all over his face, but no defensive wounds. And this happened in Ross Correctional Institute in Ohio. But yeah, no defensive wounds, bruising all over his face. Like I said, I think it was just, you know, he knocked him out and kept on beating him. And one of the most treacherous things I've ever witnessed in prison was that, man. And I can't even put into words. You know, you could say that someone's knocked out and dude just continually beats him. But I mean, there's no way to put into words. You know, also other things that really I remember distinctly and thinking about it, like, was grown men, 40 years old, 50 years old, or 30, whatever. They got kids, you know them. You're doing time with them. You know they got kids. And you hear them getting beat, begging to stop and help and screaming. And their dads. How would you feel if you knew your dad was getting beat in prison? Like a high school bully beating someone, you know? It just blows your mind. Grown men going through these type of situations. Those were weird things. Luckily, thankfully, the Lord had protection over me, man. I ain't never had to say no crazy help or, you know, anything along those lines, man. You know, thankfully, because I was around people that could have easily taken me out and just knocked my head right off my shoulders, man. Choked me out and done what they wanted, you know? Something, you know? So, but at the same time, I minded my own. I was in the mix, but I wasn't messing with other people's mixtures. I never ran my mouth like a little bird. I never disrespected anyone, not even to another person about that. Nothing. I kept it solid, man. I gambled. And I had fun the best that I could. So that's another huge thing that will keep you safe in prison. Be yourself, man. And stay out of other people's business. Why do you think I conduct myself on YouTube exactly how I do? Exactly how I was in prison. I don't get into people's shit. Even though I want to. I want to chime in. I don't. You know? Drama. You know, of course I get into other people's stuff when I'm talking about a news story. But well, I'm talking about drama. I stay in my lane, and that's it, man. And I don't never disrespect no other creators or anyone else to anybody else. I played the game just like I was playing it in prison for the most part when it comes to respect value. If I did something disrespectful and I learned that it was disrespectful or it was the wrong way, I learned from my mistakes and I fix it. It never happens again. A lot of people learn from it and they just keep on doing it. You know, whether it's for the money or whatever the case is. I was in Pickaway. Ain't that a reception center now? I can't remember. I think I just read about that place. Something happening over there. Man, I could never be a CO or a cop. And you know what? Honestly, after a lot of the videos that I've seen, I don't think I could either. You know what I mean? Because I seen a video the other day. This cop, man, he pulls someone over on the interstate. Dude gets out the car, right? And he approaches the unit. He approaches a cop's car, which, you know, most cops, they you know, they're on alert. If that happens, they might get out their car real quick, gun drawn. Don't come at their car. Tell them to step back in their car. But he didn't. And dude went to the passenger side window of the cop's car and he said, "Hey, I need help. I got a flat. Can you take me to the closest town?" He says, "Man, everything's closed at this hour, but I can take you. Just go ahead and wait for me at the front of my car." And immediately, dude popped him, shot him right there, point blank. I think it was a face shot. And you didn't hear no more sounds from the officer, nothing, man. You know, just instant. You know, you can't pay me enough to put they don't pay enough for me to be putting into harm's way like that. You know what I mean? Sorry. COs too, man. I ain't got time to deal with that. You know, but a lot of people look at it like it ain't gonna happen to me. You know, these jobs are very stressful, man. I couldn't do them either if you're that, you know, if it was a job choice. I mean, if I had to, that was all there is available. I gotta feed my family. I'm doing it without even thinking twice, man. You know, it ain't that. You know, I gotta feed the family, live or die. I gotta do it. You know. Yeah, and I'm here. Yeah, I could co-sign to that. In Flower, ladies and gentlemen. Really, if you have issues with stress or anxiety, man, I'm here to tell you they will cripple you. Your mind will. I've went through anxiety and just stuff like that for, I'd say, at least a good 8 months. It came out of nowhere, and it left out of nowhere. I mean, once I got control of my mind, it went away. But it was like I was going through so much stress and anxiety. I don't know what it was. Maybe talking about prison so much on YouTube. Because that's when it happened, when I started it was shortly about a year, or no, it happened the first time before I actually was a YouTuber, but it started getting really powerful when I was doing YouTube. I don't know if it was because I was talking about prison so much or not, but it went away once I started learning some things. But it had a grasp on my life like nothing else. I mean, I was enjoying my life in prison more than I was enjoying my life on the streets with anxiety attacks. You know, let that sit in. So, yeah, it can be very stressful, man. Stress will kill you. You know, saying as it goes. So you gotta learn to maintain it, get control over it, and, you know, de-stress, man. Decompress. Go get a massage or something, man. Someone told me when you have anxiety or something, you start getting a little shaky, go coloring book. And, man, does that work? That used to take away my anxiety attacks, and so did my dog Lucy. That dog, man, I don't even want to talk about it. It's about to bring a tear to my eye. That dog got me through some very tough times mentally. But, you know, that really made me realize it's almost like a higher power wanted me to see and feel mental anguish, just a taste. Because before that, I always said to myself, all these people have to do, people with mental issues, you know, anxiety issues and stuff, I used to say to myself, all they have to do is just get strong, man. Get it together. You'll be all right. That's what I used to say. And after I went through it, I said, man, you know, that ain't the case. It's real, you know? So open my eyes to mental issues, and it's real. It's a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. Heartburn almost killed me. I was beating on the door screaming for Rolaids. Bro, me too. In prison, the fastest way to get rid of heartburn in prison was toothpaste. A little bit. I would not recommend eating toothpaste. Don't do it. It's just what we did in prison. It was stupid. Now that I know what I know, I would never have done it. But also mustard. Eat a little bit of mustard, gets right rid of it. And some gum. You can chew some gum, sugar-free gum. It tricks the body to think that you're eating, and it'll start doing a dumping of the stomach acids, and it'll fix you up. I dealt with heartburn for a long time. I had endoscopies, you know, because of the heartburn. It turned out I stopped drinking soda and it all went away. Isn't that crazy? I was drinking sodas like clockwork, y'all. And I literally changed my diet. Stopped eating Taco Bell right before I went to bed every night. Stopped drinking sodas, fast food, you know, and my heartburn went away. I still battle with it every once in a while, but yeah. Mustard does not give me heartburn. I read somewhere that it gets rid of it, and I try it, and it works. In the world, not of it. It's a good tattoo right there. Like a little beaming light from above. And you're like descending onto Earth. That'd be a good tattoo. Ooh. Ooh. That's good. Life is a game of balances. Man, you know, that's probably one of the best sayings I've ever heard. Once you realize what to put your balances, you know, most of your weight on in these balances of life, man, you'll succeed. I'm here to tell you. That was a great saying, man. You feel so much better when you have a healthy diet. Yeah, you do, but I'm not gonna lie, man. Them Big Macs, I still be gnawing on them every once in a while. A little quarter pounder, monster burger, you know, Five Guys, you know. I ain't gonna lie, I still tap into the T-Bell too. Yup. They got the Gordita Crunch back. Box. Devour them probably once a month. Twice a month. Chicken quesadillas always a lock. Always get them. Pintos and cheese. Yep. But I don't get them on often. Trust me, I promise. I really don't. Half the time, I just can't even think about getting Taco Bell. BK's great, man. I love BK. King of Burger Kings. Burger King. The king of burgers. And look, I don't know what it is, but the Burger King by my house, I don't know what the hell they're doing in there, but their smokestack, when it's going, it's like a factory smokestack, right? How many burgers are they grilling in there? There's no one in line. There's no one in line, but the smokestack at Burger King is cranking. Smelling delicious like they're cooking thousands in there, right? What the hell's going on in there? Is that like the wrong? Is that their damn tactic? They reel people in. They got a smoke machine that smells like patties. Oh man, I seen some stuff in the sky out here. Let's put it like that, Lindo. I'm not taking that route. Scully and motor route this morning, but yeah. I meant to take those photos down way earlier. The best burger joint to me. The best burger joint to me, like fast food wise, is probably out here, probably Five Guys. It's not really fast food, but it is. You know what I mean? I do like them. I like getting me some peanuts. Having fun. Waffle House is alright when I got a little sugar fit. I go into Waffle House and eat like I'm in prison. Alright? I get the waffles. I get grits. And in jail and prison, I always put on my pancakes and waffles, if we ever had our French toast, I would put the oatmeal on top of the French toast or the pancakes, whatever, or the grits. I would smear on top of it because the grits and the oatmeal never had sugar. They never gave us sugar packets in some places. So I will put it on top, and then I will pour the syrup on top of the grits and the pancakes, or the grits and the French toast, and it would make the grits sugary, and I would eat it like that. And I go into Waffle Houses eating just like I did in prison. We get 2 waffles with a side of grits. I start painting that jank up, and I'm like I'm at the damn chow hall, man. Like I done did life or something. I think doing prison YouTube has made me a little more institutionalized than I would be if I didn't. But yeah, I still, some things never go, man. From lockup, they have never changed, and I don't think they will. Every time I look down at the comments, it's like y'all are just talking about the most random stuff. Dairy Queen flamethrower, bro. What is going on in there? What are y'all talking about? You put sugar in your grits? Yes, man. Let me guess, you're one of those weird people that use cheese. My homeboy I remember I went to a homeboy's house, stayed a night, and it was like middle school. And he's like, you want some grits? I'm like, hell yeah, bro. My mom cooks grits with sugar and butter, cinnamon, right? I'm like, hell yeah, I want some grits. He pulls out some grits, they're like orange. I'll never forget that dude. His name was Kyle, man. And I said, bro, what the hell is this? What is this? He says, grits, try it, it's good. So I'm like, all right, man, it don't look right. I tried it. He's like, cheese, and I'm like, bro, this ain't grits. I don't want this. Give me some cereal. There's 2 kinds of grit eaters, man. And I strongly believe it's connected to your soul. Brown sugar and butter, huh? Oh, you're sophisticated. You eat that with your pinky out. Yeah. Correctional officer killed in Christmas, man. Christmas morning. I think it was around 7 in the morning. Unreal, huh? You know, just my condolences go out to that family, because just that predicament is just unthinkable. Christmas morning. Almost as though it was planned out like that, man. Crazy. More details, I'm sure, will be coming out, and I'll give y'all a non-live stream update on it. I just like regular butter with maybe a little bit of milk and maybe some cinnamon, dependent. But usually, if I eat grits or oatmeal, it's just got milk, butter, sugar, and a little bit of milk. That's it. The inmates don't run the prisons, not from what I saw. They have... Oh, that's where I was going, bro, earlier. That's where I was going when I lost my way. I was saying in the medium level securities, that's where everything starts opening up. You know, you got a contraband, all that stuff. People doing life. It's a different lifestyle, man. That's where they're never going home. So you're going to see that type of stuff. But, oh my God, I lost track again. Where's that comment? How did I lose track again? Oh yeah, the inmates don't run the prison. That's what I was saying. But look, I've been in places like lower level places. Regardless, the inmates, they don't run the prison ever. Okay, if that was the case, they would leave the prison. You know, they run inside somewhat to an extent, I guess. In more prisons, in some prisons, it might be a lot more ran by inmates than others. But the prisons I've seen and jails, especially jails, ain't no inmate running nothing. Like, bro, you don't want some of those guys around you. They are gonna put the fear of your creator in you. Them COs are huge, man. They start slapping on some leather gloves or something and asking you questions like, you better answer it right, bro. You better answer it right. Or them dudes with the big damn state trooper like drill instructor hats. I remember this one cat in Deep Meadows, man. He had a hook for a hand. And he was like a lieutenant. He used to terrify the hell out of me, man. He always used to give me a hard time every time I went into chow hall. every single time, man. You know, so look, you could think that the inmates run the prisons, but in the majority of places, man, they ain't. And a lot of places I've seen, especially jails, it's you know how hard it is just to get a ciggy, you know. So contraband's like nothing. There's nothing around. Very rare. You got to be very in tune with the mix to be first grabs on whatever comes in. So don't believe the hype that every prison is just like buck wild and just inmates do whatever, cell phones look, it's coming from the majority of certain states: Alabama, Georgia, Florida. All the states that we've done already talked about. I already named what state I thought was the most dangerous. Alabama, just because of how they be taking cheeks and stuff like that. But you know, this year California might have taken the cake. You know, cheek taking or not, they are taking people out in the California prison system. I don't speak on it because it's so frequent, and the California reports on these inmates being killed, you can tell it's all gang related. It's all hits, it seems like, and they never give you enough details. They just be very bland, and you're left to assume. So I don't even go into it, but you can Google recent inmate homicides, and it's just going to be California, California, California. I mean, on my end, all I see is nothing but California inmates dying. You know, recently. So yeah, prayers for anybody out there. Definitely keep your eyes peeled, man. You know. But Alabama's doing the same kind of stuff, man. They're still putting in work on other inmate homicides and people taken advantage of sexually. Man, it's happening. You know, it is very scary stuff, Cindy. It is. And this is coming from an ex-con that's been to prison 2 times. It's very scary stuff. Some of these places, man, especially if you're a gang member, one mess up, one foul up, or just someone not liking you, it could be game over. Game over, man. You know, it's much more serious in other prisons and higher levels, man. Gang politics is unreal in some places. And, you know, I didn't know that when I first started doing YouTube. I mean, I seen my share, but it was nowhere near like the stuff from other states. You know? It's a machine. It's a real life machine that it will never be stopped. Bro, I have seen my share of, I wouldn't say fully, you know, I wasn't watching the cheeks being taken, but, you know, I was around it. I've seen guys get turned out. One of my most popular stories, unfortunately, on the channel, I have so many beautiful, wonderful stories, but the most popular one, I think, is being turned out in prison. It's a true story, man. You know, homeboy came out with skin tight jeans, and it's game over for him, man. Jumping from cell to cell after that. But also, man, you just hear things and you see it, the setup. At first, I didn't, you know, I was fresh to that type of thing. But once I got schooled by a couple inmates, they're like, yo, that dude right there, look, watch him. It broke it down for me. Thankfully, I had the right inmates around me, broke it down, the game, when it came down to those kind of individuals. And thankfully, none of them ever came my way. I mean, I'm sure they probably did a couple drive-bys when I wasn't noticing soaped up in the shower. I don't know if y'all know what a drive-by is, but that's when someone waits for you to get soaped up or something, and they'll walk past the shower and take a quick glance in, drive by, just to see some suds, man, on them white-faced cheeks. White-faced honey buns. Oh, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a victim, man. I eat a honey bun every night almost, y'all. I go to the gas station, I honey bun. I ate a grand honey bun the other day. I couldn't even finish it. That thing was massive. But yeah, you know, these honey buns I'm talking about in prison are different, you know. The shower cheeks. People like to do them drive-by. So I could have been a victim and didn't even know. How long have we been live, man? 55 minutes. Bobby's locked up. He got locked up on Christmas. I'll give you updates later on in life. Alright, just say prayers for him. Don't send him no canteen. Alright, I told him if this happens again, don't call me. I'm not giving you nothing. So, he's probably in there doing some crazy stuff for some soups. Yes, I do have coffee in there and I'm running low. Ohio prisons ain't no joke. Nope, they ain't. Oh, speaking of which, I want to give you a story about a prison. It just happened in the prison where I did a majority of my time at, called Greensville. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. It's crazy. It says, Greensville County, Virginia. 2 inmates were... This was an article from October 3rd, 2024. But I was just doing some research on the prison I was in to see if anything's been jumping over there. And it's been active, man. And this was one situation I couldn't believe that an inmate was put here. This just goes to show you the level of inmates are in this prison, all right? 2 inmates were stabbed at Greensville Correctional Center on Thursday, according to the Virginia Department of Corrections. Sources say one of the inmates was airlifted to the VCU Medical Center with deep cuts to his left abdomen, arms, and the back of his head. The second victim had cuts on his head, and third suffered cuts on his hand. An inmate was responsible for the stabbings, according to the source. This comes after sources said 2 Greensville correctional officers were stabbed by an inmate on Tuesday at the facility. Both officers were released from the hospital. The inmate allegedly involved in the officer stabbings is who sources say was also responsible for the killing of a canine unit, the dog, at Sussex 1 State Prison. So that inmate that stabbed the dog to death, all right, they shipped him from Sussex to Greensville. Let that sit in, all right? I was around some violent, vicious people in that prison, man. They put violent people in there. That just goes to show you. And he ends up stabbing 2 COs there, you know, and the inmates. It says 2 inmates were stabbed at Greensville. And then it says, this comes after sources said 2 Greensville correctional officers were stabbed. So, it's getting crazy in there, man. You know, prayers of safety to y'all in there. I'll never forget going into that prison, man. It is literally like a city of its own, y'all. I can't even begin to break it down. You got the visitors, they get up in the front of the prison. They have to take a bus to each unit. You can't walk it. It's like an airport, right? And each unit or section has like 3 buildings, and they're like their own little counties inside the city of prison. It's unreal. I used to watch those visitors from the hole go to visitation, man. It make me drunk waiting get out the hole. That hole was treacherous. Thank God there's a Rastafarian back there pumping me tobacco. I was going hungry for them cigs. Oh man, I was losing. All I had was a couple of trays until I had like my hygiene roll in, because they take your commissary, but the Rastafarian cat, he's got everything back there because he just won't cut off his dreads. But he's got everything, man, you know, and so I give him like a tray for like a cig until my stuff gets there. So I was losing weight, man, missing one of my 3 trays back there for a ciggy. And then I finally got my hygiene and got me a nice little pack. chilled, gave him some stamps and stuff. But he was carrying everyone back there, man. This was a long time ago, you know, when the Rasta cats were back. I think you're allowed to. I don't think they force you to cut off your dreads anymore. But yeah, that hole, man, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that hole as long as I live. It was treacherous, man, torture. It was the longest bit I did back there. It was for tattooing too, repeated tattooing charges, over and over and over, tattooing, petty ass contraband. You got a weapons charge and threatening charge, but they were humbug bull crap. You know, lied. But yeah, it's crazy to think the guy who killed the canine, they shipped him to freaking Greensville. You would think they'd put him in the Onion, right? They would put him in Red Onion. Not to mention in Red Onion, I'm hearing inmates over there been reading articles that they're electrocuting themselves to get out their cell. They don't have no other way to do it, I guess. Electrocuting themselves. They're losing their mind in the Red Onion, man. I'm here to tell you, I think besides, like, what's that prison? I think it's in Colorado, like the most secure prison in the world. It's got like cartel gang members and all kinds of head ups in there. I think the Red Onion would be secondary most secure prison in America, in Virginia. Go do your research on the Onion, and I think that would be secondary, for sure. It's up in the mountaintops too, man. I mean, every person's transported like by canine. That's the type of prison you cross the yellow line, you're getting shot. I had a homeboy, man, and his dad was killed like that. He got into a dispute in prison. If I remember, in something, I think maybe he crossed the yellow line or something like that, but they were fighting, and he got shot with a beanbag in the neck and got killed from that beanbag in the neck. I guess it hit the jugular or something. Case, show the case. What are you talking about, the case? Hey, what's up, R Cross? We already spoke about everything. Can we get those likes up to 1,000 though before we end it? We need what, 140. My kids are getting crazy, man. I gotta go. So hopefully we get to 1,000 before we dip. ADX Florence, yeah, there you go. I've commented on like 20 video. It's hard for me to read this. Coffee's got me freaking tweaking, man. What does it say? I've commented on like 20 videos to see the case. What case, bro? This case? What about it? This is nothing. It's just a taste of the case. I got cases downstairs in my basement, man, of Aliens and Predators. Unreal. A few other things like Doom and Wolfenstein, you know, Final Fantasy, things I enjoy. And look, I don't know if anyone else is like this, you know, but I think I have Peter Pan syndrome. I don't know if that's a real thing. I've heard it down the pipeline somewhere. All right. But I think I have it. I think I'm like stuck at like 18. You know, I feel like I'm always going to be 18 or 17. I mean, I matured. My mind is matured. I've grown wiser, but it's like I'm just still there at that 18 marker. Even though I look in the mirror, I'm getting older, I still feel like that's my age. And I still laugh and I act like it a little bit, you know? I don't know, man. I think I got the syndrome, old Peter Pan. I'm going to start flying away. Never going to grow up. Hey, take it easy, Lurchums. Hey, Lurchums, a gatekeeper, bro. I didn't even see you in here. Man, that boxing match with, bro, we got to get you back on here. We got to react to that boxing match together, man. Man, oh, man. It was entertaining. I'll give y'all that. Y'all entertained the shit out of me watching that one. Peter Pan syndrome is a narcissistic trait. Well, then I ain't got it. I was sadly mistaken. That's up for debate. We kind of get stunted during lockup, bro. That was another thing I thought about. Maybe it was because I got locked up around that time and I never really experienced being young. Like, in my 20s, I was going through in and out of jail and stuff, you know? So it's like I never really experienced anything that most people would experience after they graduate and really have a blast, you know? Yeah, my body feels like I'm 70. I got major disc issues in my back. But I deal with it by going to the gym. I try to strengthen my muscles and stuff like that. When you were locked up, did you ever take over the phone and say, "This is the lockdown 23-in-1 phone. Don't even try it, buddy"? No, I never even knew YouTube had a comment section when I was locked up. So, lockdown 23-in-1 was still somewhere where I just didn't want to go. The name was a figment of my imagination. When it comes down for it being a YouTube channel. But I appreciate the donation. It looks like 6 people enjoyed it. Your comment. Appreciate you, Lurchums, man. Keep doing what you do, bro. Stay free, my friend. We need 45 more likes, y'all. Let's get it done so I can dip out. I promised Brittany 1,000 likes. I didn't. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was just playing. Professor Swag Muffin says, I don't think Peter Pan syndrome is narcissistic. It just refers to people who have had hard time facing the realities of adulthood and remain socially immature. It's a good way to put it, bro. Socially immature. I think that is a piece of me. Hey, yeah, here we go. 6 more, and I'm out of here. 6 more. How many years did you do locked up? Bro, I calculated back in the day about 8. Give or take. I did juvie time, then I got out. I did like a year in jail, and then I got out, beat those charges, got out. But that time did not go towards anything, towards my prison time. So I was sentenced to prison, got like 2.5, 3 on the first one, got out. Violated my probation, got 6 months, went back out, violated my probation, got 6 months again, got out, violated my probation again, got another 2 years of some change, and that was it. I've been done ever since then. So, I wasn't the type of dude that said, hey, you're going to be a prison YouTuber. You need to realize and keep track of all your dates. I never was that kind of guy. I don't even keep track of my birthday or my age. I thought I was 37 until I went into the damn casino the other day. Dude said I was 38. I said, hold on, bro. We got an issue. I'm 37, man. You're reading the ID wrong, right? I thought he was trying to trick me up because he thought I had a fake ID because I bring a paper one. My real one's all bent up. But I'm 30 freaking 8, man. I thought it was 37. That's crazy. That's horrible. I'm milking these last 2 years, my 30s. I'm milking them. But yeah, I don't keep track exactly the amount of time, so I know some people might hear it and they do their own research and it might be wrong. I'm not a liar. It's just, bro, I don't calculate it like that. I've always just assumed. And like I said, it's only off by a few months, if anything. Yeah, to make a long story short, I pretty much did all of my 20s in prison. In and out. I didn't get out of lockup and stay out until I was about, I think, 27 or 28. Something like that. Wait, no. Yeah. Something like that. Because I think I was released last time in 2018. 2014. Yeah, I've been out for about 10 years. 9 to 10 years. crime free, and guess what? I've never had a drug charge in my life. Can you believe that? I got nothing but violent shit, and I'm not even violent. I'm not even a violent guy. I guess I was a little violent younger. These dudes are messing with me, man. I got a lot of theft on my... I think I got like 3 grand larcenies. I was a thief. You know, I stole a lot when I was a kid. Like break into sheds and boathouses and stuff like that. Houses. I mean, I broke into any damn thing you can probably think of. I hate thieves now, though. I've always hated thieves, you know, but not when I didn't hate me. Oh, man. I spent a lot of my childhood visiting my dad, who was an inmate at Ross for years. Wow, man. Ronald. It's crazy. I remember my kids visiting me in prison a couple times. I remember the twins, when they were younger, they came visit me, and anybody ever do this? It's kind of hard to do. But my twins, they were running at me to give me a hug, and one of them clipped someone's table, man, spilt their quarters and food everywhere. And if I remember, because I've told these stories in the past, but like I say, my memory fades me, man. Even with the stories I've told, I rewatch some of my old videos. I'm like, damn, I forgot all about that part. But if I remember correctly, the inmate that they tipped the stuff, or one of them tipped the stuff over on, was a dangerous one. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry, man, don't kill me and my family. It's just a burger, bro. I'll pick up your quarters. Nah, he was cool about it though. Everyone was cool. Got a little laugh. Car hopping, man. I done car hopping, man. I stole some joy rides. I done all that stuff, you know. But I was a teenager. And you know, when you're a teen, man, me of all people know, you know, anything could happen, man. You go through a lot of emotions, and you're just doing everything new for the first time, and you know, you just get caught up in the mix, man. So that's how it goes. There was a warning saying graphic when you click this? No way, bro. Tracy, I'm about to dip. You're going to have to run it back. You're going to have to run it back. I apologize, but I'm out of here. I've been going for over an hour. We got over 1,000 likes accomplished. I'm going to go take that to Brittany. We got 23 and 50 cents. Chat revenue. 23 and 50. I like that. But I appreciate y'all, man. And, you know, once again, on a more serious tip, my condolences go out to anybody that had to deal with these situations that we spoke about today. I think we talked about like 3 different stories of people losing their life. But even though I have laughs in between and I speak about side quest stories, none of this stuff is funny. You know, anybody losing their life, period, is not funny, because, you know, they got loved ones. You know, even these individuals on death row got loved ones, man, that are innocent. Their loved ones are innocent, but they are heartbroken, you know. So my condolences to all the individuals that go through it like that. And like DYI's World says, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free. Free, baby, at all costs. You know, you go out, press that button on that big screen anytime you want. You can watch cartoons if you want to, right? You ain't gotta worry about nobody beating you up. Go to the fridge, crack open a Coca-Cola, a little water, fresh water, not that damn sink tap from prison, right? Remember that stuff, man. Especially all you ex-cons that's done did it. Remember, go take your shoes and socks off and walk on the carpet or the grass, and remember, that shit'll be snatched from you as quick as white as lightning. You know, white on rice. It'll snatch it from you, mess up, man. So play the game right. Slow money's better than no money. And learn to walk the hell away. Slow to speak as well. And keep your shit to yourself, man. Don't be speaking about nobody else's business, man. Just do you. Grind and build your dynasty. That's it. You know what I mean?